1986, the Arachnid Enforcer and his sidekick, Gangster Boogie, get caught up in a web of wicked mysticism gone wrong. Defective Comics presents The Arachnid Enforcer, an over-the-top, creator-owned superhero parody comic book unlike any other. From fan-favorite artistic sensation, Jim Mafood. 48 pages of pure, glorious destruction. Bear witness to the greatest one-shot comic book of the year. Spookified superhero parody action and suspense.
Sexy goth girls. Sensual adventures. Caped villains. Old ladies.
Available now on Kickstarter.
This is the Inkpulp podcast.
Welcome to the Inkpulp podcast again. Eric and I are here waiting for our slow friend. I won't use the incorrect word that I'm not allowed to use anymore.
Yeah. I think they call it, well, what's the term that they use to refer to it? Is it like enablist language?
I don't know.
We're waiting for an enablist language friend to show up. You know.
All right. So Eric and I are talking about New York Comic Con, and Eric just informed me that Mahmoud Asrar backed out, who's with Essential Sequential, which opens up a space. At the Essential Sequential table.
And for a brief second, there was a little part of me that was like, you know what? Why don't I just drop in, give Shawn a call? I'm sure I can find a floor or couch to sleep in where you and Matteo are staying, and just show up for the show, right? And so here's the dominoes that start to like this. This is like the torches of Gondor that happen if I say that out loud to people, like I just did right now. I just lit your torch, you know. Hey, I'm interested. I'm just thinking about going. You should just go. You know, that's step one. And if I say it like that, right, it'll cascade into Shachter, Jason. And Jason's like, great, we need to now plan around you, which is his job. You know, Jason wants to represent me best. He knows that I don't often go to shows. And if I go to a big show like New York, he's going to just freaking send up the Thundercats, you know, spotlight and just activate everybody. And I just want and the idea of that is exhausting to me. You know what I mean? Just like,
I know you hate. I know you hate that. Yeah. You know? So tell Jason, don't post.
No, it doesn't make sense. But so here's how it's unfair to Jason, right? Because he's about to lose Mahmoud, right? Right. So just from a purely, we're going to talk a little greasy business, right? Which is he's going to lose Mahmoud, which is a huge draw, right? And Mahmoud is so good, so fast, so quality that people sign up for his commissions list. And he said it online. I think he said it on social media. Hey, everything that you guys signed up for is going to be done. I just can't. And by the way, to give it context, he said himself he was sick for a week going into New York Comic Con. And he lost time, not just from a working standpoint, but obviously time with his family. And the idea of like losing more time for New York Comic Con just doesn't make much sense to him. And before we got on, we were talking about like his what do you call it? His system, his resistances must be down for being sick that long. It doesn't make sense for him to go right back into New York. You know, New York Comic Con, which is generally conventions are a petri dish. Yeah, and so now his resistances are down. He's going to go into New York, potentially get sick. The travel there and back is just a lot. Anyway, so it's smart for him to just kind of stay home. By the way, Mahmoud, I don't know if you're going to hear this, but dude, please feel better. I hope you'll feel better.
Yeah, I hope you feel better too. And actually, we got to get Mahmoud on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't like you so much, I think it would be a lot easier.
Well, he came on the live show when Bug Wars came out. We did a live show with Mahmoud and Jason Aaron, and we drew Bug Wars. That was fun.
Clearly, I wasn't paying attention. So
yeah, obviously.
Anyway, so you know, I was thinking, hey, let me just give Jason a call. So Jason's gonna say, okay, great. But if that's the case, we need to do some, it's not necessarily last minute, but it's not necessarily, there's not much of a runway between now and next week, which is when New York Comic Con kicks in. And so he's got to do, you know, he's going to go tell his people, and his people are going to be like, hey, last minute, Kennedy's going to be there, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to start, you know, turning on all the buttons that'll say he's got commissions, because it's a business, he's got to find ways to fill that table, make sure when I'm there, I'm just not fapping around like I typically do and just go everywhere else. You know what I mean? Like I go everywhere else, but sit on that table.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I thought, like,
true. That is true.
And the other thing is that when I'm there, I actively torpedo you guys. I just want to hang out and look over your shoulder, and you're in business mode, right? You're going to be talking about the pod. You're going to be talking about the podcast. You're going to be talking about your classes, your books. You're going to be in 100% selling mode. Maddie, I know for sure, because of Fourth Father, he's going to be going to be in laser focus. I bet you right now the reason why he's late, he's looking in the mirror and practicing how to pitch that freaking book. Which, have you ever seen him? Like the last time he tried to pitch the book, it was watching. There's the Eddie Murphy skit where old people who fall down the stairs. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, Lord Jesus Christ, I'm falling down the stairs. I'm halfway down now, Jesus. Like, remember that? Yeah. That was like listening to Maddie pitch the idea for Fourth Father. It just kept falling, and he wasn't done. He just kept going, Yeah. And so I bet you he's tightening up that pitch so that people will, jokes aside, amazing looking book. And Maddie, to his credit, had enough self-awareness to be like, yeah, this looks amazing, but if it doesn't read very well, then dude, this could be really, really bad. But
right.
He's going to be given a lot of grace by people, because I think the number one, the story comes from the heart. I think it's going to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It comes from he's not doing superheroes. He's not doing action adventure. He's just doing this really great thing that comes from the soul of him.
But that's not the
crux of it.
Right. But honestly, I think most great superhero stories, that's the case.
Yeah. Some could argue. Point is, like, you guys are going to be in business mode. Right. You're going to be trying to sell. Maddie's going to be trying to sell. Jason definitely going to be trying to sell. And I'm like, of the people that are there, obviously I'll be able to touch base with a lot of the essential sequential gang. But in my heart, I'm like, I'm not in business mode.
Dude,
that might not be good energy for any of you guys.
First off, you haven't experienced a con. I mean, you kind of got a taste of it at Heroes, I think, the last time we did that. But we haven't all been at a con together, like everyone from the show, me, you, Jim, and Matteo.
Sure.
And that's going to be really awesome for the show, for like everyone to be able to like meet all of us. And for when we do our picture on Saturday, that'll be a great thing to have.
Yeah.
But you should ship some Arc Athena books out there. You should be using this to sell some Arc Athena.
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna talk myself out of it eventually. Right now, I'm excited about it. The idea of it is exciting. Before I walked into this room, I'm all like, I wonder if that would be a viable thing. And in my heart, I know it would be, because the way you guys work. I mean, I'm not talking you guys down. I'm not saying like, oh, these guys are just, they wouldn't be very, accommodate. Like, you guys would roll out the red carpet. Like the way you're talking right now,
absolutely.
You multiply that to Jason, you multiply that to Mo, God bless her, you multiply it to Matteo. Like, yeah, absolutely. If they like Jim, if you knew that I was coming, you're like, dude, Kennedi's coming, let's go, let's go, right?
Yeah.
But so it's not coming from that place. It's not coming from a place of like, well, I might be imposing, blah, blah, blah. But there's a part of me that's just like, man, New York is such a business-centric show.
Yeah.
And if you're not in a business-centric mindset, like I never am, it might not be a good place to go.
Well, talk to me about that. Why aren't you in a business mindset?
I think it's because for the past 4 years or so, I've stopped taking conventions seriously. Like, I don't know about you, but my brain got its fill from that experience from a convention.
Yeah, no, right? I agree with you there.
That business component, right? Like, okay. I'm no longer in the headspace of like, hey, I'm here to like establish, I mean, by the way, to a fault, potentially. Like, I'm here to establish new connections. I'm here to establish like new contacts, potentially reach out to a bunch of different people. And most specifically, as far as the city is concerned, I've never been a big New York City guy.
Yeah, I know you don't like. Yeah,
that's
you don't
all
like that.
been kind of thrown in together, into, and it's heightened by New York. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to be in that city. That.
See, I love being in that city.
You do. I know you do. I know you do.
But let me say this. With a lot of conversations we've had recently are about freelance stuff you're lining up and looking to line up.
Yeah.
This being there would fill your calendar a bit.
I mean, maybe. It might be.
I'm pretty certain because the past 3-4 years of going for me without even trying to get work.
Yeah.
My biggest opportunities have landed on me at my table. Someone's like the Spawn covers came out of that. The Snap cards came out of that.
Sure.
Like the Sirius radio show that Jim and I are going on for the second time came out of that. So a lot of stuff comes out of that for us.
Yeah.
And I think just being there, because there are opportunities you're seeking, might facilitate those.
That's absolutely. I think that's a great point that I never thought about, and I don't want to diminish it. Do me a favor. Can you check where your microphone is coming from? You know how we often talk about, all the amazing things that Jamie does when it comes to the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy not to be like, hey, Jamie, draw like a clown car pulling up and a bunch of stuff pouring out of it. Like Jamie will just do that. That's like a button on his keyboard somewhere. This episode, Jamie's earning his money, from like Jamie, the technical issues that we're we just ran into. Jamie, just as a heads up, Shawn was talking into a tin can. Like this is an old school alfalfa freaking Our Gang thing. And there's like a string between two tin cans. And it was recording audio out of his earbuds.
Yeah, and it didn't start like that. It just switched to that. And anyway, Riverside has an update right now. Nothing looks right, and nothing works as well as it did before.
Yeah,
I'm getting really tired of this.
Nothing. Don't turn into Red Hulk, Shawn. Nothing against Riverside. We love this app. It's just sometimes these updates have a tendency to just kind of push everything off of the table. And we're like, all these settings that we used to have, like it's out the door now,
Yeah. But the weird thing is like you used to be able to switch your mic during recordings.
Yeah, mid-recording.
And now you can't. Like that seems like a bad update to have.
Yeah, Mr. Riverside. Can you please get your act together, Mr. or Mrs. Riverside?
All right. We were talking about you coming to New York.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, like, well, no, the point that you brought up is pretty good, which is to say, hey, those opportunities may be there by being present, participating in some capacity. That might be the opportunity way to go. So there you go. I'm also thinking about like what I'm going to tell my wife, which is ultimate, like trying to talk my wife into like, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to go to New York. We're going to spend X amount of dollars while I'm there or whatever it is. She always goes into that space of like, okay, so what's the upside? What's the cost benefit analysis of like we're going to spend this much? Where's the cost opportunity?
But isn't getting work and selling books and selling?
No, that's what I'm saying exactly. Which is to say, hey, this might be that great opportunity, which is what she'll be down for. Anyway, consider it a yellow light until you hear from me later, whether or not it's a green light. But I think that's going to be the way to go.
All right, that'll be great.
Yeah. What? So you've never tapered down from your enthusiasm? Oh, you said you love New York, and it just happens to be a convention there, right? Like
I have history with there. Yeah.
Yeah. Has it ever?
My
tapered
family's
off
from
for you?
there. No, because my family's from there, and we grew up in we moved away from there when I was a baby to Washington D.C. So I didn't have family there. So we went to New York like 5-6 times a year for every holiday, for family reunions. So every time I went there, it was this really exciting place to go. We had big family reunions with deli trays of food and desserts and all the food up there was amazing. And then as I was getting older and like hip hop started becoming a thing, I was like, I can go see all the cool graffiti. And I would go to like the record store in Queens up the street from my grandma's where like the Ramones used to shop.
Sure.
So I could get like vinyl punk rock records that I couldn't find anywhere. So New York has always been a really like special place to me. My grandmother, who I was very close with, who was like the support for my art in my life, was her.
Yeah. We have her to blame.
I feel close to her there. I love going there. I never get like after a week after New York Comic Con, I'm like, yeah, I can go home now. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
But I'm never like, I was just there with Zoe, and that's another thing is like, I take Zoe there now. Now she has the bug. So like we go together and she loves it. And I get to show her all the things that I know she'll continue to do in her life. So
yeah.
That's
so cool. Yeah. That's so cool. When we like, I have that same feeling when we go to Italy. Cause I think
that's a whole nother level.
But independent of like, we're flying over an ocean to go to a country, right? It's that I think if I'm understanding you right, it's just like that bug that you're talking about, that's me in visiting Italy in specific, European countries in general, but Italy in specific,
Italy bug is bigger. I would not move to New York City.
Yeah,
I would move to Italy.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I hope they don't.
Steph and I have that conversation.
I hope they leave you.
Steph and I have that conversation quite a bit.
What do you say? You're like, hey, let's go move to an Italian country?
Yeah, I say when we were there last time, we were looking at areas that we could live in. And I think ultimately Steph loved Lucca. That's where she'd want to live.
Oh, sure. Beautiful, beautiful city.
Yeah, beautiful city. And it's very affordable. And Simone Bianchi, our friend, has a very good friend there because we went out to dinner with Simone. They loved Simone. He loved the family. We had a great time. But Simone has a good friend who's a real estate agent there who specializes in helping foreigners purchase property, particularly Americans in Lucca.
Yeah. So, do they do background checks on you? Because that's what I would do first. I'd be like, Shawn Crystal, let me look into this guy.
Yeah. That's going to be a problem. I can't get over that.
All right, you convinced me. Keep you out of Italy. Can you promise to never go to Italy if I go to New York? Is that a thing that we can?
I can't make you that promise because I'm going. Are you not going to go in May? Are you not going to do the 2 shows in May?
What's the 2 shows? You guys don't tell me anything anymore. Here's the other thing, right? Because I won't. I'm gonna take a sip out of this fucking cup. I'll tell you that right now before I talk to you again. Okay. I'm not in the loop as much anymore when it comes to the Essential Sequential Gang because I don't do as many shows. And sometimes there's a bit of FOMO or there's a bit of like, oh, that sucks. I can't be with those guys. But I don't put it on anybody else except for me. It's to be like, oh, I put myself in that situation. It gets to a point now where Jason doesn't even ask me, not out of disrespect. It comes more from a place of like, he's going to prioritize the guys who he knows. Again, purely from a business standpoint, he knows that these guys are working. He knows that there's art that goes out that people see and that he knows that potentially there is a desire for them to be there from a promoter standpoint, right? From a show standpoint. He and I had this conversation a long time ago. He's like, you don't feel like doing shows anymore. Actually the way he said it was more Jason appropriate. It was like, what, you don't like money? Which is, it was just the same.
That's exactly what he would say.
What, you don't like money? But it really comes from a place. I think he was asking me that because he understood my energy was very different. It's like I started tapering down on like taking on more commissions. It used to be like, dude, as many as you can take, as many as you can get at any given show, please sign me up for all of it. And then it started to get capped at like, 10, then it started getting capped at like 5. And once you start communicating that out to people, they stop asking, because they're like, I'm probably not going to get there in time. Or just because the nature of these shows, there's so many artists, you only have so much money. You're going to go prioritize the people who are actually like, yo, I can get a chance to get this guy on the list, and I haven't been on a mainstream book in forever. So it's all these compounding reasons on top of me, like literally communicating out to the public. I'm not, maybe not, I'm not emotionally invested, but I'm like, technically I'm just here to hang out. I don't know how many times I say it during the show. I'm just there to hang out with you guys. So really it's gotten out into the ether and people are picking up on it and they're like, well, just leave Kennedy alone.
Gotcha. But I'm pretty sure you were included in this email. This was months ago.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't read anything that Jason sends me, so that probably
that's on
that'll
you.
do it. You know.
But Naples and Como are on opposite weekends.
Okay.
And they are yo. So we had some technical difficulties with again. So, but Matteo, this worked out. This is a lesson to everyone out there. When something bad happens, there's something positive waiting around the corner. So it opened up a conversation for me with Blackbird Comics to talk about us doing the signing there, which they definitely want to do after OAX. And we'll record the podcast in person with them when we're there.
Awesome.
So that's good.
Yeah. I thought you meant like it opens up a positive thing when the Matteo shows up. Like, so if there's anything going on bad in your life, call Matteo.
The problem was
the technical. Yeah.
There's a storm going on there, and their internet kept dropping, and they kept disappearing. Yeah.
Dude, we had like 10 minutes, and they were leading up to like this. There was this really amazing part of the conversation where they were talking about before, when they applied for the Eisner versus getting rejected for the Eisner versus how they won it, and all the upgrades that they did to the place, just the mental headspace that they went into. And they were right about to start talking about it, and then the internet dropped out. And me and Shawn were like, what the fuck? That sucks so much.
Yeah. But we'll get it.
You know what? At the same time, there's another good news. Like, I really, really, really wanted to be there. Yeah. So the good thing is that we'll be there
in person.
So
But I'll tell you what. Something else that I found out when I was talking to Candace about doing the signing. She's like, we'll do the 3-3-1 thing, and I was like, I don't know what this is, and this is something I think we should all be thinking more about. They said, it's the 3-3-1 thing you do for advertising. 3 weeks out, 3 days out, 1 day out. You run the commercials. I was like, I like that. We'll definitely do that. We'll make a commercial, but we'll do it. So interesting. Awesome. And another, I need to ask you, Matteo, Mr. Kennedy.
Suddenly I get respect with the Mr. You see that?
Yeah.
Listen to this guy, Matty.
Might do New York Comic Con now.
Oh yeah. He wrote it on an email like a couple of days ago. I was really surprised. Yeah. It's funny dealing with you, old farts. You just do stuff and forget literally 2 days after doing it. So.
Yeah. I sent Matteo the screenshot. Of what we were talking about when I said the date of the show, and then I asked you to ping our guest. Yeah. And you're like, well, wait, when's the date of the show? It was literally the text above.
I don't like looking further than what's immediately in front of my face.
Dude, if there's a God, please, if I have to become like you guys at your age, just kill me. Like in 10 years from now, just kill me.
Listen, it tracks.
Matteo, I'm going to tell you.
You're going to be just like us at our age. You know what I mean? Once you get here, we'll open up the freaking backyard gate for you to just come and sit at these chairs that we're both sitting at, looking at each other going, I don't remember who this guy is, but he's sitting with me.
Does Matteo's mic sound like he's in his earbuds?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Let me check.
Riverside's doing some weird things today.
No.
Oh, you're good.
It's my microphone.
Yeah.
He's just sitting back from it. That's all.
So Matteo, Eric's thinking about coming because Mahmoud got sick, and now there's a table open. Because Mahmoud Mahmoud's better, but he's lost all this time, so he needs to make up. Okay. So Eric has an opportunity.
By the way, I'm getting sick too. So I've been having a really bad cold since a couple of days ago. So
perfect. Let me go to New York Comic Con with the sick guys.
Well, I mean, there's still a few days to go, so we'll see.
Yeah, you'll be all right by then. Although having AIDS might make it hard for you to heal fast.
Come on, he's been getting treatment for that for a couple of years now.
But so Matteo, I offered up, and I need to make sure you're okay with this. Eric,
this is the other thing. Shawn's like, come and stay in our room. It's totally okay. Matteo's like, what the?
I said,
okay. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I said, why don't you crash with us? But let me ask Matteo, make sure it's cool. I was like, I'm sure
you can say no.
Where will he fit?
Well, we have 2 beds.
In
it
your
means
butt.
we're going to have to go back to old school, Matteo.
Well, actually, we have 2 beds, and one of us moves constantly and makes noises for the whole night, during the whole night. So I wonder in which bed Eric will stay.
You and...
Yeah. That's the other part I keep forgetting. It's just Shawn is an animated sleeper.
Do I move around that much?
Dude.
Oh my God. The noises like
Yeah. It's the honest to God, dude. I've done it a couple. I remember the last time that I did it
next to a raccoon.
Yeah. No, that's insulting to raccoons. Staying in the same room with Shawn while he's sleeping is there's audio of it. Listening to a bunch of racehorses right at the beginning of the starting gate. Right before the gun goes off, it's just banging up against the fucking gate and getting used. And there are times when I look around, I think somebody's robbing him. I wake up in the middle of the night going like, oh, dude, somebody's stealing something from Shawn right now. It's just Shawn flopping around. And it's not a criticism of you. It's more of a criticism of me. Like, I'm jealous. You're just living your best horse-making sound life. And I wake up at 2 a.m.
I like the raccoon analogy better. Can we stick with the raccoon analogy?
But it's girthy.
At least
it's like coming out of your... Raccoons kind of sound like little creepy fingers, like digging through your trash. That's not what you do, man. There is a full throttle depth to it that's coming from your chest. And also, actually, if it was just a sound, it would be okay, right? But it's the movement.
Oh no, everything. It's the whole package.
It's the movement, man. If there is if you have a twin bed, you'll occupy that twin bed. If it's a queen bed, you live in that space. And again, it's out of jealous. It's more of a me thing. I'm so jealous of a guy
absolutely.
Who just sleeps so well.
It's the only time I decided to listen to ASMR. It was one time where I was so frustrated by him making so much noise and I couldn't get to sleep. So I gave up and I put some ASMR stuff in my ears just so that I couldn't hear what he was doing. Yeah. The only time in my life.
Last thing,
and Shawn, then of course I jerked off because it's a ASMR. But
it was an ASMR. It was 80s porn. You're like, I like the way this sounds.
Well, because it's really easy to slide into porn with that kind of stuff. Like I started,
especially if you press the porn button. It's really easy.
So I researched. I didn't know about ASMR. That was the first time I was exposed to it. So I was like relaxing sounds on YouTube. Yeah. And it started with something really, benign, nothing special. Sure. And then I was like, that's a nice, thing. Let's hear some more of that. And lo and behold, like each video became more and more sexual, like sexy. At the end, I was just listening to just girl like, yeah, I'm gonna touch you. I'm gonna touch your hair. Feel my fingers in your hair and all that stuff. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. Okay, keep in mind, but just pay attention. You didn't like turn it off. You're like, this is good. I'll stick with this.
Oh, yeah.
Because between this and what's happening in the other bed.
What I had right next to me, so.
Yeah. It was actually my stay with Shawn, and I can't remember where we were at together, that compelled me to buy noise-canceling sleep earbuds.
Oh, was that in Tennessee? Yeah. Was that in Tennessee?
It may have been. Yeah. It was enough for me to be like, this isn't going to be the last time we're doing this, so I got to do something that's preventative.
Oh, yeah. I have a full box like this with 50 earplugs that I bring every time.
Yeah.
If I don't have those, I'm fucked.
Shawn, this isn't a criticism of you. This is more like an indictment on us because clearly you're living your life. You know what I mean? You just
well, I mean, I'm not doing it intentionally. I know it's not a criticism of me, but I wish I wasn't like that.
Why?
Well, also, I don't want to be celebration of our love towards you because no one else in the world.
You guys are awesome for putting up with it. I feel awful about it. I really do. I feel terrible.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell I can tell the difficulties you have
the
when you go to sleep.
that you're going through of your guilt.
What can I do? What can I do to make it better?
Don't do it anymore, you inconsiderate
how
piece
can I
of
stop?
shit. Go into another room. Go into the freaking toilet and sleep. I'm just kidding.
Sleep in the bathtub with that.
Sleep setting up on the toilet. All right. Anyway, the point is, I may end up there. I think Shawn is trying to clear it with you, if that's okay. And if that's the case, then I'll find I don't know what the situation is with the room. I'll find a couch to sleep on or the edge of the bed to sleep on. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll know by tomorrow.
You can share my bed. Just bring some Xanax. Knock yourself out. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Bring a knife.
And the other thing, and before you walked in, Maddie, I realized I was telling Shawn because my brain isn't in business mode, and you guys are you especially, dude, you're gonna be in 100% business mode come New York Comic Con. I was just joking too about how I think right now Matteo's not in the call with us because he's practicing how to pitch this book. Because the last time that you pitched it, I was like, that wasn't a pitch. That was a guy falling down the stairs,
Well, Shawn and I recorded one that was put in front of the last episode that got uploaded on YouTube. So
how do you feel about the pitch now? Are you feeling more confident about getting it out in front of people?
Not at all. I just hate it. But but that time I had my, I saw myself in it, and you can tell that I'm reading a script. Yeah. But I had a scripted one just to make sure.
What is have you never gone into pitch mode before? Have you not gone into?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Yeah.
Maybe in Italian, I wouldn't have any problem doing it.
Yeah.
Or I might have some minor problem, but in English, it gets in my head too much. It's so hard
as in how do I represent this? In your head, you're what am I saying? What do you mean?
Yeah, because it's a natural way to talk for me. So now I'm not even thinking I have to think about every single word I'm using. So it's so fucking distracting.
Yeah. What's the difference between is it because it's I'm trying to think of is it because it's a summary? You speak pretty fluently English now when we're talking. Your jokes are coming out pretty dang fast. Everything is coming out pretty organically and naturally. Is it that extra step where you're I had to think about how to say something about this book? Is that what it is? It's coming out inorganically?
It's because already in Italian, I'm not used to do pitches. So it would be already unnatural for me in Italian. And now I have the extra level of having to do it in English. So now I have to really think about what I'm saying. So it's really, really distracting and really it weighs heavy on my brain.
This is why you got to come, Eric, because you can do the pitch for the Fourth Father and give away the copies.
Yeah, that's just trying to tell me, hey, you should come because Shawn moves around and snores all night. You know what I mean? That's that's not a selling point. You know what I mean? That's not I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to understand how Matteo's brain is thinking about it. Sometimes you just end up psyching yourself out because it's not for the lack of ability, in my opinion. I think it's just something that makes you go, oh, I'm going into summary mode. Which I'll tell it to you like this. I went in through the same exact sort of thing too, where I was I've got to find a way to capture in 2 or 3 sentences what the book is about. And then something, I'm trying to think, it was just as recently as this past, when I went to Bell County, where I just talked about it as if it was it's just happening. If that makes any sense, right? Because I took myself out of the headspace of I'm summarizing this book, as opposed to, I'm a living character inside this. And so it just became a story, the same way you tell stories about something that happened to you where you guys were ex. I don't know what's going to be helpful, but I don't think it's for the lack of your ability to talk organically. I think
not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to give you an example, before we did the pitch, I create, as I said, I was following a script, and the script took me literally a minute and a half. Like I finished right before recording it. Like when you see it's a pretty long pitch. It's not something short. It took us, a few minutes. So it's a pretty long script. And it took me literally a minute because I had all the words. Like I know how to say things. So it was writing. It was so easy. But if I had to come up with it and talk about it at the same time, like using words, it would be a nightmare. Yeah.
Okay. Now that's even more intriguing for me to come to New York is just to watch that nightmare unfold,
Oh my God.
Just a chicken hawk, on a perch somewhere.
It reminds me of the first show I did in San Diego. Yeah. I think it was 2008. Yeah. And I had I was presenting hyperkinetic. So I had my table in the image booth. Yeah. And it was me, Howard Shawn was the writer of the series. Yeah. And with us, there was Mark Morales, the
inker.
The inker.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, I don't remember, but there was a question that was asked to me, like, okay, if I was taking commissions. So somebody would stop by and ask me, and mind you, like my English back then was incredibly bad. So just in order for me to say, okay, it's blah, blah, blah for a head sketch and then a torso and then, a full figure, it would take me like forever. So after 2 or 3 times, Mark will intervene and would just be he basically was talking for me because it was too painful to watch for him.
Did it out of frustration, not out of kindness.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how much what you would say when it's like for a bust it's this much, for a full body it's this much, for whatever this much. Were you like trying to oversell it? Is that what it is? Or
I didn't have the words, so I had to stop and think. It was fucking painful for all parts involved.
You don't have that now. I think you'll do great. Actually, that's more intriguing. Again, this is so not business related. I was telling Shawn, to give you again context, you're going to be in business mode, so I'm not going to try to get in your way, right? Like, dude, let him pitch his book. Jim, congratulations, by the way, Jim. You're not going to see this before this comes out.
Absolutely, man.
But dude, freaking congratulations on Arachnid Enforcer.
Fire, dude.
So freaking proud of you, buddy. It's, I just hope from here it's just like a straight trajectory to the moon. Congratulations. That's awesome. Shawn's going to be in business mode. Jim and Shawn are going to be in business mode because of their respective books. And for sure, Jason's going to be in business mode. He's going to be torn between 6 or 7 different artists that's going to be at that show. Plus,
dude, I think a lot more than that.
All right, take it easy. You know what I mean? Jason can't handle more than 7 people anyway, and it's going to be like 5 people.
When was the last time you went? I think you're going to kind of be surprised at how big how many people are working it and how big the essential area is.
No, I mean, it was running like a pretty well-oiled machine back then. I remember for every 2 or 3 people, there'd be an assistant. So it's not as if I'm unaware of it. I just know that Jason's going to be working full time. And so there's really it's not really a hangout kind of show during the show. And me, I like fuck around so much,
but we go to lunch every day. So
no, that's fine. I mean, I've been part of that, but in my head, I just go like, oh, all my friends are working. I'm just going to leave and go someplace.
Just ship some Arc Athena books there and sell them. I'm just the most irresponsible
guy when it comes to like going to these shows on business mode. And again, I've got to find ways to psych myself out of like, I want to watch Maddie pitch this book for 3 days from start to finish to be like, here's that improvement.
Walk around, line up podcast guest. You could,
I think that's a better thing to do.
That's something you might enjoy that.
Yeah. So I wanted to hear your opinion about this. So as you know, we printed out the copies of issue number 0 of The Fourth Father. My book.
How do they look, by the way? Do you have a copy that we can take a look at right now? Can you hold it up?
I'll grab it.
Yeah.
So we'll be having those. They're going to be for free at my table. So they're going to be giveaways. And here it is.
Look at that, you guys.
Shiny.
Oh, cool. So good, Matty.
Oh, thanks, man. Shout out to Tiger Printing.
Yeah.
And is that the name, Shawn? Tiger?
Yeah.
Tiger and Min Chao, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, okay, how many do you think, like, if you're in my shoes, okay?
Yeah.
So you have
Good question.
copies of this book to give away at New York Comic Con. So it's 4 days. How many do you think I'll be able to give away overall?
Out of how many copies are you bringing?
No.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
How many do you think he should bring as giveaways to get through New York Comic Con?
Holy shit, man. What a great question. I think, like, first of all, if I were you, I would cap it. I'd say I'm only bringing so much. You have to come up with a terminal number, right?
That's a really good marketing thing.
Right.
Because
to say, like,
it makes people want to come and grab it before it's gone. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But
just
how many do you
Yeah.
think Matteo could possibly give away in the length of New York Comic Con?
Whatever number you have, he'll be able to give it at that show. Whatever number you have, he'll be able to give it away.
There's got to be like a threshold of like, well, that's crazy.
Well, you know, you go in there with 50,000 copies, and then freaking he won't be able to give away.
Do you think?
But if you walk into that show with 200, you'll give away all 200, and I suspect you'll give it away on first day.
200? Do you think?
First day? Yeah, he'll give away easily 100 of that day one. Because if you tell people, "Hey, I'm capping this at 200,"
so you think 100 a day?
Yeah, I'd play it. Yeah, that's safe.
Okay.
Interesting.
You're giving it away for
15,
free, dude.
So it's good.
Yeah, you have two. You brought two, so you're going to give that away.
We brought 15, so we should be able to.
I'd bring 200, and then, you know, it's you're hyping it so well, and if people have seen it, I'd hype it more. I am a huge proponent of it. I've seen the pages, and I haven't geeked out over something like this in a long, long time. I'm one of those guys that would go to a show, and let's say Mignola is giving away something, I would go 3 days straight, just keep getting a copy of it. Just be like, I have copies of Hellboy Zero. You know, I have 3 copies of Hellboy Zero with me, you know?
With the promotion, I've been conflicted internally over the past few days because on one hand, like I can see that whenever I post a new promotional image on social media, I have new subscribers.
Yeah.
I have new people signing in on the campaign, on the Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I realize and that means that some people are not seeing those, you know, and that's the algorithm. We all know that.
Of course. Yeah.
At the same time, I feel that there's some people that are getting all of them that maybe subscribe like in day one, and now they keep getting promotional images. Yeah. And I'm wondering, are they gonna be sick of me keeping, you know, doing that?
Because just
you know, if it was me, I would understand. Like this person is trying to maximize and trying to, you know, promote his own stuff.
Well, that's
the only people that'll get sick of it are like the Erics of the world. They'll get sick of it.
Yeah, and
there's not a lot of them.
And it doesn't take much for me to get. To be fair, it doesn't take much for me to do.
At this point, you got to stop breathing in order for him not to be.
For me not to get sick of air. So. I'm sick of air. I'm sick of breathing. You know, like breathing
Eric's
is so annoying.
annoyed at the idea of staying with me at New York Comic Con.
I'm annoyed at the idea of being annoyed. You know, like God, it's so fucking annoying. No, here's the thing. Number one, the way people are trained now, they understand advertising. Like they get inundated by it. But the few people who are going to go to the extent of like, oh, this is so annoying, I wish I'd never see this again. There's systems built in where they can stop that on their own. And if they choose not to use those systems, that's all on them. They're going to get annoyed no matter what. It's just they have a propensity for it. But that's not your job to worry about that. Your job is to make sure to get it in front of as many people who have not seen it before. right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
And even if you post every day, all day, your campaign's going to end and you're going to get an email like, dude, I totally missed this. I had no idea this was even happening.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's
that will happen no matter what.
Yeah. No matter what.
So for the point of that is like you have people at the far end of that spectrum to be like, dude, I saw this every day for as many days. And it's like, oh, cool. It's working. Right. And if you didn't sign up for it, then maybe now's the time to sign up for it. And then you'll get the other end of the spectrum is like, dude, I didn't even know that this was out. And you're like, so there you go. How can you possibly make that full band of people like happy? There's not. You just your strategy is just like, hey, if you know about it, great, it's working. If you didn't know about it, here's an opportunity to pay attention.
Yep. So, second thing that I wanted to pick your guys' brains about. So, basically the main attraction, let's put it this way, the main item in my campaign is gonna be the artist edition, okay, of my book. Mm-hmm. Now, my original plan, which I think was really, really cool, was to have, I don't know if I told you, Eric, Shawn knows about it, but basically have the pages, like the naked page, and then a plastic sheet, like an acetate piece of paper with balloons over them. So you could lift it and then have, the original page with no dialogues or anything.
Sure.
Now, it's impossible. It's impossible.
As long as it's impossible, let's make it.
And if a Chinese printer says that something is impossible, it means that it's impossible.
Because Min will make anything happen. When you explain it to her.
I mean, it's not that they don't use. It's not that they don't use acetate papers, but the story's gonna be like 190 pages or 200 pages around. Yeah. So they cannot make 200 plastic sheets.
Okay. So also look at it like this, right? Whatever the cost of that item is, and we're talking greasy business stuff, so take it with a grain of salt, right? If you're not here for it, then apologies. But the cost of what it takes to manufacture that thing, right? To get it to you, get it, in front of people, there is a scaling of how much things, the cost of that you're going to have to pass on to the consumer. Right. So if it costs you this much, generally 300% markup so that by the time they get their hands on it, you can produce more. And it's just going to be, I think it's going to be untenable to be like, hey, I'm not going to pass the cost on to you.
Right.
It just does, it doesn't set up the right sort of like foundation for them to be like, oh, I want to continue to support Matteo. It's going to be a nice book that's going to sit on somebody's coffee table. But I don't think you're going to get enough people who want it to want to be able to pour through it and really experience it.
And the shipping cost of a 400-page hardcover
because it's going to
be the price of the book.
It's going to weigh 17 pounds. Yeah.
Well, you remember my very first art book that I did, which I will never do again.
The metal box.
That my God. Plus the other one, which is the clamshell one. I think Shawn's got a version of it. I will never do that book again. I will never, ever do that book again. It's amazing for people's collections, but to have somebody walk around that with, it's more of an ego thing, right? But also keep this in mind. And I don't want you to throw the idea away. You just have to understand who you want to cater to first. It's not to say that you'll never do a book like that. Right?
Oh, yeah.
But for this first one, you want as many people reading that thing as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So, speaking of Shawn, bring up Matteo's book again. Is it square bound, right? Or is it saddle stitch? No, it's square bound.
It's staple bound.
Yeah, that's so good. Maddie, that is one of the smartest things you've ever done. Because if I was telling this to Shawn offline, just from a production standpoint, if I could have taken Arc Athena, which is 64 pages total, right? 64, 68, somewhere around there, and split it in half and have gotten, and not do it as a hardcover and have just done saddle stitch, I would have gotten 12 issues out of it. Plus, the barrier to entry as far as cost is concerned per issue would have been so low, it would have been a no-brainer for people to buy, right? To be like, I don't know you. I know you as an artist. I don't know you as an independent creator and as a writer, but this thing is so enticing to me. When I look at it, I'll just buy it outright. And it cost me significantly less what it would have taken a hardcover. I would have done it right away. So doing that is, well, you're giving it away for free, but if you continue to do more of that in that format, dude, you're setting yourself up for, in my opinion, based on my experience, the best kind of success.
Yeah. And so, circling back to the artist edition. Now, here's the thing that I've been thinking about over the past week, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So normally, like an artist edition is mainly focused on, the original art, a reproduction as faithful as possible to the original art.
Yeah.
Now, some artist editions don't even have dialogues. So I was wondering if, and this might be a crazy idea, but how about the artist edition with no dialogue, just purely only the pages, which is what you did with Enter the Mandarin, if I remember correctly, Eric.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, at this point, if you want to read the story, this is not going to satisfy you. So that's
that's not what it's meant for, right? That was going to be my next question. Is what is it that you're trying to do with an artist edition, which is ultimately, in my opinion,
it's not a black and white edition. It's an artist edition.
Yeah, I think you're just trying to show the art. If you want the component of what it means to be in full production, you have written script, you have written text somewhere, right?
Yeah,
include it in the back. Right, like put it in the back somehow, because that's all just black and white. You can can put the script in the back. Speaking strictly from a production standpoint, you can keep that book as close to black and white as possible. Put the script in the back.
And maybe what you do, Matteo, is offer the artist edition, and it comes with the TPB, so they can read it too. So
that's what I was thinking. So
I think that's the best.
If you buy the artist edition, it comes with a TPB. So if you want to read the story, you still have a chance to read it.
I think that's the way to go.
Just your, artistic option.
I think you do that, you're going to sell a ton of that. I think.
And then the other thing that I want to include is you want to put some production value into the artist edition, but you don't want that production value to supersede the main book. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. You're not doing a big production on the artist edition. I'm not saying make it so that it's like made out of tissue paper or whatever, but that artist edition needs to be supplementary to the main book, right? People are not generally, okay. I mean, some people might argue contrary, but generally 99% of the time people are going there to buy that book, and they happen to get the artist edition because they want to see, supplemental material, but that main book is the big show. So production value wise, you can cut down costs on that too. You don't have to go like ultra gloss. You don't have to go like, UV spot coating, blah, 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 blah. It literally can be straight up just, hey, this is what the artist edition looks like. It's X amount of pages. It costs like a third of what the main book costs or whatever it is. So again, just keep it as, I can't emphasize this enough for people who are trying to go into this, creator owned, I'm self-publishing space. Keep your costs as low as possible, but understand how that cost translates into your sales.
Okay. So you will keep the artist edition as a cheap product? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd find a way to make it as cost effective as possible.
Because I was thinking about that as the deluxe product in the campaign,
and the
TPB being the cheaper, just for the people that just want to read the story.
This is my mindset, right? That's just a mindset that I take, which is I look at it. If you were to buy the set, right? For me, the main thing that I want you to pay attention to is the book. So that's going to get as much love and attention as possible. The deluxe product, in my opinion, isn't the artist edition. If you want to make the deluxe version of it, that needs to be a product in and of itself.
Yeah, but all right,
go ahead,
Eric,
speak your mind. I'm not right. I'm just, that's my opinion.
No. I'm
right?
I'm letting what you said sink in before I argue against it. But as of now, artist editions are known to be and typically are the premier edition of things. Yeah.
But if you think about like how those artists those are products in and of themselves. Does that make sense?
So what Matteo? Yes, but I think that's what Matteo's saying is let me do the artist edition in and of itself as a premier product. But because you can't read it, let's include the trade. So then you have an option to read the story as well.
So if you buy the artist edition, it comes with the TPB. Like the TPB is the object that I'm gonna print the most copies of, because basically everybody's gonna have that.
And that's the John.
And plus, for the hardcore fans that want to see the art, you buy the artist edition, but still it comes with the TPB, so you're able to read the story no matter what.
Yeah. So Eric, to put it into perspective of the conversation we had this morning, the artist edition is the Johnny Blue. The TPB is the Johnny Red. So the focus is moving as much of that red as possible. But for those people who want the blue, we're talking about Johnny Walker, by the way.
Yeah.
Those people want the blue. We're offering you a very prestigious, like, piece of an art product of a book, so that you can get that with your red.
I'd be curious to see what our bots think of this. So
that would be interesting.
Let us know in the comments what you think.
I think that, using that same analogy, the trade paperback is the blue, and the artist edition is also blue. I don't think they're the same concept. Does that make sense? Like the way that Shawn is phrasing it, it's like, hey, here's the thing that everybody should get access to. Like, if you start thinking of the trade paperback as just this, it should be accessible for everyone. That makes sense to me under that concept. And then you go like one level up, which is the trade paperback. But to me, they're two different products. And they both should be your premier product each time, in both cases. So it's not to say that you can't bundle those things together, but in both cases, your trade paperback or your main story. And the only reason I say this is because we are not a mainstream publisher, right? Your audience is going to take a look at your book holistically, right? The trade paperback. They're going to look at it holistically and be like, that feels so good. It's everything that I needed from that particular meal, right? And then the audience for a trade paperback rarely is the same audience for an artist edition.
Right.
So the artist edition is going to come. The artist is going to go in there and be like, "This is what I expect from an artist edition." Oh, and I happen to get the trade paperback. That's cool. Does that make sense? So they're not looking at the quality of the trade paperback for their purchase, right? In order to be able to read it, they're looking at it from the artist edition. So to me, that's where the partition happens. I have to think of the trade paperback as one version of a premium product, which is generally to my fans, because I can't not think of it that way. I'm not a mainstream publisher that just gets like 150,000 copies out. It's whatever number that we do at our level, at our tier. So that needs to be put together really, really well. Everything from the cover stock, all the things that go into like making it feel like a premium product for what it is. And then once I go into the artist edition, I think of that product very differently. Not any more premium than the trade paperback.
Okay, but let me ask you, Eric. So Arc Athena, I see as like the individual issues, the hardcovers.
Yep.
You treated those as prestige. Format things.
Yep.
And now you're saying you wish you wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here you are telling Matteo to do
No, here's the thing. Like but it's always tempered by what it costs to make. Does that make sense? Like, I'm looking at it as a prestige product. I didn't take a moment to look at it from the fan and the buyer's perspective as what they can consider as a prestige product.
Ah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Prestige product, it is above and beyond what a prestige product should be, but does it bring them the kind of value that they're spending at like $25, $40 a pop? Right. Or can you say, I can deliver something to you for $10, but it's still an incredibly prestige product, which is what you were holding just a second ago, right? It is not a floppy. Yeah. The cover is a different stock than than the interior pages. And then we're not even talking about the material that's inside. We're just talking about the thing holistically. you know? So is there a way I could ramp down a cover stock that is like cardboard, you know, UV spot, blah, all the bells and whistles, and still have,
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
And I agree with you. And I think we're saying the same thing. Because even when I say Johnny Red, that's not a cheap whiskey.
Sure.
It's not real.
It's just the accessible one, right?
Right. So I mean, and knowing Matteo, he's going to want that trade paperback to be a nice object.
For sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, nice object. But you know, if I think about an artist edition, like what an artist edition is normally, it is, you know, I mean, from what I see, like it is a classier product in terms of, you know, in terms of cost. It's clearly there's more money spent on it. So, I gotta think.
Everyone listening to this, let us know what you think.
Yeah,
because we have time.
I don't disagree with you guys
to
are coming
figure
from.
this out.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, no. I like hearing what you're saying.
Yeah,
and I want to hear what the public has to say too.
It's of two minds, right? Which is to say, like the artist edition, if you were to include it, again, that might be the wrong assumption. If you were to include it, it should not, you know, from an experience perspective, it should be supplementary. But if you say the artist edition is a completely different product, then the rules get thrown out the window, because it does become a product in and of itself that just happens to have the stuff in the trade paperback. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I think personally, like the thing that the thing that I want is for as many people as possible to read the story. That's for sure.
Great.
That's what I want.
Yep.
But at the same time,
else.
I like the idea of being able with the campaign to also offer a very, very nice, special, rare product that you'll be able to have there. And that's it. Because there's a lot of people that like me. Like I have a decent following in general in the industry, but I think that the biggest chunk of followers I have are other artists.
Yeah.
That like my art. Like if I have to put myself in a group, I would be more of an artist than an actual, like,
listen to this fucking guy. I swear to God, enough of you already, dude. Jesus, ego, Mr.
I didn't
Man.
call myself like a superstar. Like to me, superstars are like Jorge Gimenez, Shawn Murphy, those guys. They're always some main titles, and they always have a huge following. Because not only they're talented, but they make waves when they move, because they're always called for really important projects, you know. I'm not, I'm not there. I don't think I'm that type of artist in general. So most of my followers, I think, are either artists or aspiring artists, or, you know, people that are beginning to become professionals and all that stuff.
You're definitely an artist, and so is Eric. You guys are artists for sure.
So I think that the artist edition would satisfy that chunk of audience that I have, you know?
Yeah. Will you allow me to be more cynical for a moment? More cynical than I took.
Even more.
I mean, you're on screen, so we're allowing it.
Even more cynical than being on screen. Here's the thing. I've come to recognize that as much, like, you know, you start having people who are artists who are fans of yours, right? There is no direct correlation that just because they're fans of yours, they'll buy the artist edition. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like rarely, like most often, this the cynical part. More often than not, it's easy to support you and all they have to do is hit the like button. But if you were to actually ask, like, hey, come and support me by spending money on my thing, dude, like I would count on less than 10% of those people who are in the artist category to actually go and spend. So to me, right? Go ahead, Maddie.
No. And that's absolutely a possibility, but I want to test the waters, which is the same reason why I'm not doing variant covers by other artists, that I'm not using an editor. I want to see what I'm worth in this business by myself as an artist, as a writer, as a businessman. Let's put it this way. I don't define me as a businessman, but there's a businessman component to our career. And I know so far in my career, I mean, my career is like 18 years now, 18 years now. And I've always trusted my instincts. I never stopped and did too many calculation and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Think and then, trying to come up with the solution to the problem in the moment. So my instinct tells me that I should have, a cheaper, let's put it this way, product for people that just want to read the story. Yeah. And the product that it's dedicated for people that want to have, that nice object with my art.
I don't think that instinct is wrong. I don't think that instinct is wrong. But here's like in the math that I do in my head, in as far as like where I spend my energy, right? Yeah. Like, sure, the artists who are coming around big, by the way, this is not diminishing them as being fans of yours, right? Like, fans of mine, fans of Shawn, like they can be fans of ours and they can really love it. And they obviously have glowing things to say about the work that we do, right? That's totally cool, right? But the reason why there's any sort of like longevity for any artists who go into the creator-owned space is because those fans who are like rabid about talking about your work, right? They are going to be the freaking advocates and the acolytes that'll go out to people and be like, dude, you need to freaking read this. You need to read it because of like that to me, if I were to take whatever energy I have, plant it into the ground, and I have a better idea and more confidence of how it's going to spring into 10 viable plants of energy that will then, drop others and just keep growing like that exponentially. You grow your fan base. And I say a core 1,000 people who will just continue to buy your stuff. Yeah. That to me is where I would put the majority, 90%, 95% of my energy. Right. Yeah. Because they are the ones that's going to be there. First of all, they far outnumber like the pros that'll buy enough to make your project sustainable. And more importantly, in my opinion, the amount of energy that you spend in convincing them for me bears more fruit to be like, dude, I love this. I'll show 10 more people, 5 more people, 2 more people. And in that,
I completely agree with you. As you were speaking, I started thinking. And as we speak, I started putting together the thoughts. And actually, if you think about it, if I have to be honest, probably the artist edition is more for me than for the audience.
Sure, for sure.
And as you were saying, like the really fruitful things would be the actual book with the story in it.
Let me say this, okay? And I'm categorizing that under the bucket of energy expenditure because you only have so much energy resources available to you on any 24 hours, right? Where do you want to put your energy? And it's not to diminish these guys. They obviously have value, fellow pros, people who are going to talk positive about your book, broadcast for you. But when it comes to people who are going to carry that torch forward to the next set of people, I think that building that core fan base is so freaking critical. And I think that's why you're doing it right. You're giving them an access point of, number one, it's not going to cost you so much to invest in me because I think at its core, you're establishing a trust, right? Yeah. Like I want you to start trusting me. You only know me as an artist. You only know me as this version of a creator. I'm moving forward. And one of the ways you lower that barrier to entry is you give them a product that's easy enough for them to go like, okay, cool. I can trust you for $5, $10, $20. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
How long did we go? Yeah, we were good. We went over because we recorded before you even came on, like on another track, and then I had to switch something. So we're good. But I want to say, we didn't say it at the beginning, like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Jamie is stabbing himself in the eye right now.
Yeah, Jamie's like, you idiots. But Jamie, to be fair, we had a lot of technical difficulties on the front, so I got a little sidetracked.
He's going to say, like, what's your excuse every other time that you don't fucking do it?
Yeah, and I'll think of one for each show. I'll think of one. But we're moving into our Patreon segment of there, and I've got something I really want to talk to Eric about. It's about an exciting new step Eric's taking. So if you want to hear about that, join our Patreon and listen to it there. And Matteo?
Uh-oh.